Hi guys, and welcome to the first Friday reads for manga that I have ever done. And I'm gonna start doing these every week because I do read a lot of manga. I do have my coffee here so we can be all cozy in my Christmas mug with Minnie Mouse. And I gave it a weeby title because it needed a weeby title. Hanakin is just like analogous to the American English phrase TGIF. Woo! And this week was finals week for me. My last ever finals week. Because as of tomorrow, I'm officially graduated from college, which is crazy. Oh. I'm an adult now. What do I do? So I didn't read that incredibly much, but I did get through a few things. And the first one was that I was going to go to read Twinkle Stars, and then I realized that I never read Volume 2 of Liesel and Witch's Forest, which I got a while ago. And this is also from Natsuki Takaya, the creator of Fruits Basket, my favorite manga of all time. So, naturally I have to collect it and read it, and it's super weird for me to not have read it immediately after I bought it, but this is like a fairy tale about a girl named Liesel, she's like a princess or something, who gets exiled to a cottage in the east of the east of the east, which is right on the edge of the dangerous Witch's Forest. One day, a mysterious guy shows up, this guy right here, who reminds her of someone from her past. And in this volume, the first one was fine. Wasn't that exciting, but in this one, some crap got real. The entire second half is pretty intense. Like dang. But, yeah, so this volume mostly just made me really interested to see what's going to happen next. I feel like I've got some issues with, like, world building here that I hope get resolved, but I don't know, because I actually don't like any of Takaya's other fantasy series she's done. So I don't like anything she's done before Fruits Basket. Like, Fruits Basket was a big, like, step forward for her. I didn't like Phantom Dreams or, what is it called? Those with Wings? Tsubasa? And I feel like, I attributed those things to, like, immaturity of her as a writer, but I'm seeing some of those issues in the fantasy world represented here as well. So, but the characters are great. I'm really interested. I actually really like Liesel, which I guess isn't that weird, because I love Toru, too, so. But I like Liesel because she's resourceful and she's brave. She's very brave. We get to see her showcasing that in this volume. And there's a lot of sort of mysteries surrounding her that I'm very eager to learn about, so yeah, can't wait for the next volume of that. The next one I read, then, of course, is Twinkle Stars, because, again, I can't just have a Natsuki Takaya book in my possession without reading it. And this one, I'd actually already read the first volume before, in Japanese, so that was a reread for me, but I hadn't read the second volume. And basically, this is the story of Sakuya, who really loves the stars because they're always watching over her, even in the toughest times. She is living together with her cousin, Kanade, who's kind of a NEET, and he has a bad reputation about town for apparently taking advantage of Sakuya by having her just, like, work her butt off every single day, so many hours, while he just sort of lays around and makes pottery. They have a very complex relationship already. Basically, one day, it's her birthday, and gets home to have dinner together with Kanade, her cousin. And, there's a strange boy there named Chihiro, and Throughout the entire dinner, Kanade and Sakuya each assume that Chihiro must be a friend of the other, and only afterwards do they realize that actually he's a complete stranger who showed up without warning and was weirdly familiar with Sakuya. And of course, Chihiro turns out to be a new transfer student to her class soon after that, and when she meets him again alone, he turns out to be less than friendly towards her. He's definitely the most interesting character. Like, that's him. By far. I'm so interested to see what his deal is. If Fruits Basket is any indication, he was probably abused by his parents at some point. But there's some hints at possibly some supernatural goings-on. I'm not sure, but it wouldn't surprise me, given that Fruits Basket did have a supernatural element, obviously. And all the focus on the stars, I'm wondering if Chihiro is going to turn out to be like a fallen star come to watch over Sakuya, but we'll see. It may just be a metaphor. But I really enjoyed this volume. This is definitely more in the vein of Fruits Basket than Lieselot is. And it's just, it's lovely. The next book that I read was this one that I bought on a whim from the Right Stuff holiday sale, which is Secretary's Love by Toko Akiba. It is from Blue, and obviously a BL title. Not an explicit one. As you can see, it only has an older teen rating there. This contains a couple of interconnected stories in it, but mostly it's about these two who are secretaries at a pharmaceutical company. Little do the other people in the company know, they've been dating each other for 8 years. And their relationship's very cute. I did enjoy this book overall, but there were some things that bugged me. Primarily, I didn't understand, like, why they're keeping their relationship secret, because the only person it actually matters to is their boss, this guy, who is not only openly gay himself, the other story in the book is about him and his boyfriend, but he also doesn't care. And there's no taboo. They state that there's no taboo in their workplace against workplace romance. So it's like, they establish all this stuff that suggests that there's no reason for their relationship to be secret. But then, like, the whole vibe of their relationship is, oh, secretaries always keep things private. They're so good at keeping things private. And I was like, this story would be that much cuter if they were just out. But, you know, it was fine. It was fine. The art's cute. Yeah. Next, I finally got around to reading the last book I needed to read for my, like, top 5 manga releases of the year, which you can expect probably, definitely before the end of the year. I'm hoping to get it out by next week. That'd be great. Now that I actually have time. But the last book I needed to read for that was the first volume of Queen Emeraldus by Leiji Matsumoto, translated by Zach Davison, who is an incredibly talented translator. This is the story of the pirate queen Emeraldus, who travels the Sea of Stars looking for something only she knows. And basically she develops this sort of fascination with a boy named Hiroshi Umino, who's trying to build his own ship so he can travel the Sea of Stars himself. And it's sort of her story weaved together with his, but she's very much the star of this work. You know, other people's reactions to her and her own thoughts pretty much dominate. This was a beautiful read. It's just absolutely stunning. It feels like a dream reading this. And I'm trying to find, like, a really beautiful spread because there's so much. Yeah. It's definitely like an old-fashioned space opera, which is great. And it feels like some sort of lullaby almost. It's haunting. So I really enjoyed this. You should look forward to my top 5 manga releases of the year to see if it made it on there or not. There's been a lot of great manga releases this year. And the final thing that I read this week or two, I don't know, is a Western graphic novel, and that is Saga Volume 1. I'm like halfway through it. Yeah, about half. Because I'm bad, and I haven't ever read Saga before, but they had it at my university library, so I just got it. And of course I'm really enjoying it. The art's beautiful. The world's really interesting. And I'm trying to get more into Western graphic novels. There's like a long list of books I need to read, and this was at the top. So I'm glad I'm finally reading it. As for what I'm looking to read in the next, week or so, I'm gonna have quite a bit of time because I'm going on vacation with relatives, of course, to celebrate my graduation. So hopefully I'll have time to read a few books. The first one I'm hoping to get to is Satoshi Kon's Opus, which is from probably my favorite movie director of all time. And I've been kind of lukewarm on the manga I've read from him before, but I'm really interested in this one because it has a premise that's kind of similar to his films, so I can't wait to read this. The next one is one of the Japanese volumes I picked up that I'm just dying to read because I'm in love with this cover, and that's Ringo Monogatari by Tabuchi Yumiko. And I'm just really eager to read this. I love the art inside. It looks like kind of a dream-like, good for winter, perhaps, read. It's a collection of short stories from the 70s, shoujo manga, so looking forward to that. And the last thing that I hope to get to, other than prose books, which I'm also reading, I have a couple that I'm in love with right now, so those might end up taking priority. But I guess this is a prose book, technically, but it's a tie-in with an anime, so whatever. This is the Natsume Yujincho light novel I've had for forever, and I keep putting off reading the rest of it, so I'm gonna read the rest of it. And yeah, that is my week in manga. See you next Friday, guys. Bye!